Hey friends, welcome to the Wise Witch Garden Table. Today we got a real treat for y'all. We're gonna make some cowgirl potatoes. So what kind of inspired this was really pulling some jalapenos out of the garden and also a Marconi pepper, which is a groovy little Italian pepper that doesn't have a lot of heat, but it's got this awesome kind of smokiness to it. So to make this recipe today, you're going to need a couple of russet potatoes. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 this size. You're going to need whatever kind of pepper. And like I said, I'm trying to use up the stuff that's coming in the garden at the moment. So Marconi peppers I've got some jalapenos here. You're also going to want some garlic, a nice onion of your choice. This happens to be a yellow onion. And then we'll go over the spices and stuff as we go on. So what we're going to take care of first is we're going to cut up our potatoes in a way that, so wait, let me backtrack. So cowgirl potatoes are awesome. What we do with these is once they're cooked in the oven, you can have these in the morning with eggs. You can have them all by themselves. As a vegetarian, often, we go to, what do you call it? Like potlucks where you have to bring a dish or something like that. And one of my go-tos, aside from fritters, which I normally will do, is I will absolutely do cowgirl potatoes. Especially if you, frequent in ladies' circles. People love cowgirl potatoes. So we're going to start by cutting up. So what you're going to end up doing is cutting up all your ingredients, and they're going to go in a nice, decent-sized roasting pan with some oil. So let me get started cutting these up. Again, you want your potatoes cut fairly in even pieces so that they cook with consistency across the board and that they're done for a while. You want to have your oven on preheat on 350 or 365, depending on your oven. And the only other thing not pictured earlier that we're going to need is a little bit of oil. So we'll get there when we get there, when we put it all together. So sit tight. I'm going to chop those all up. What I'm really going to just do, just to show you, all right, so I'm just going to start with some potatoes. You don't want these too thin or too small. So what I'll usually do is cut a potato in half, cut it in half again, like that. And then what I'll do is just make like sort of half circles with the pieces that I have. So as you can see, they're kind of pretty little half circles. Just throw those in your pan, in your baking dish or whatever you're using. You can also just put these on a baking tray, as long as your tray has a lip. That will be helpful for sure, because we are going to use a little bit of oil. And then you're going to have way more ingredients than potatoes. You're going to have all those peppers and such. So you want a lip there so you don't have any of these guys fall out on you in the oven. So we're just going to chop this up just like that. And then we'll get up to all the other ingredients, onion and all of that. So today we're using russet potatoes. You can use any kind of potato you like. I've done this with red potatoes, which come out really great. You could use those little like fingerling gourmet potatoes, leave them whole and do this. Any kind of potato you like. I really like the russet. I think it gives it it's just like a good traditional potato kind of vibe. And so that's my go-to if I don't have any other potatoes or I'm not growing any other potatoes. So I go with that. But as you can see, I'm just continuing with this almost like a $50 format. There they are there. So you can see they're all pretty uniform. We're almost done. We got a couple more left. Again, I started with about 7, I think it was 6 actually. I think I counted wrong. 6, not huge, sort of fair-sized russet potatoes. And we're going to end up with quite a good-sized pan, as you can see there. All right, there's our potatoes, all good. All right, next up, we're going to hit the onion. So I've got a decent size onion. It's medium size. I'm using a yellow onion. Again, you can use a red onion. You could use a Vidalia onion, whatever you fancy. I'm going just really straight up. Don't forget, these are Cowgirl potatoes. So it's whatever you have on the range is what goes in these. And usually the yellow onions, all the good onions, the red ones and the Vidalias and the beautiful other ones, they always go pretty quickly. And you're always left with a couple of yellow onions banging around in the fridge drawer. Don't forget, when you're peeling your onions, save your stuff, your scraps, throw it in your compost. The earth appreciates you, and so do I when we do that. So for the onions, same kind of vibe. Want to keep the pieces sort of consistent. What I'm doing is, as you can see, I cut the onion in half. I'm going to go with long pieces, almost like a wedge piece, just like that. These will roast up pretty nicely in this pan. I'm not going too thin, not going too thick, but that's it. And then I'm going to sprinkle the onion in there with my potato wedges. Next up, we have our Marconi pepper. These are beautiful, aren't they? We're going to chop that up too. This is my first year growing these. Oh, look at that. The beautiful seed pod. First year growing these, and they've just come in beautiful, really with a bang. So pleased. I love growing every year. I don't know what you do in your garden, but every year I try to grow something I've never grown before. Just for, like, I don't know, personal challenge, probably because I don't like to work out or do anything else. And this year I did these Marconi peppers as my challenge. And I also grew potatoes for the first time, which I've never done before. So digging it a lot. Grew another kind of pepper too. I threw in cayenne this year, which I've never grown before, and I use it a lot. So anyway, would love to hear what you're growing in your garden. It's late July right now in Massachusetts, so all of my stuff is just coming in. Every day I go out to my garden and it's just something else needs to be picked, and and you got to figure out, what am I doing with it. So so that's why these kind of recipes come in handy. All right, there's our jalapenos. We have 2 of them. I'm going to add both of these with their seeds. That if you don't know, it's the seeds in a jalapeno or cayenne or habanero pepper that actually makes it hot. So I'm going to add these with their seeds as well, and that way we'll get a little bit of heat to it. All right, so just to recap, we've diced up our russet potatoes. We've cut up 1 medium onion. I've got 2 jalapenos in here cut up with their seeds. I've got a Marconi pepper cut up in here as well. And now going in with this, we're going to use, I've got about 3 cloves of garlic cut up, just rough cut, fresh cut garlic. And then this is the magic one. I've got a tablespoon here of Cajun seasoning. I'm using Zatarains. And so when you use any kind of seasoning like this, for me, I don't use any additional salt because there's quite a bit of salt in this mixture. This is a mixture, a Cajun mixture. It's pretty much different salts. It's, celery salt, onion salt, all that kind of stuff. So it's called Zatarains. That's one that I use occasionally. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a tablespoon of that. That looks great. And then going on top, we're going to give it a nice generous couple back and forth drizzles of olive oil. Now you can use any kind of oil that floats your boat and makes you happy. There's no rules in the kitchen, right? I fluctuate between olive oil and avocado oil if I'm avocado oil when I'm cooking on a pretty high heat for health benefits. Anyway, let's give that a good mix. We've got our oil. This is a good way to tell if you got enough oil. You want to just make sure everybody's coated, that everybody's got some seasoning on them, that you're mixing up those jalapenos so that you're not just getting a fork full of mouth on fire. Yeah, this looks pretty darn good. All right, I think we're in business. Now what happens is these are going to go in an oven that's been preheated at 350. And you're going to leave them. You can also jack it up a little to 365 if because these are thin pieces. You want to get like a nice crisp, at least on one layer on the bottom of the pan. So 365 would do it too. I'm going to go with 350. You're going to leave them in for 1 hour, 60 minutes. And then you want to check them. You don't want to mess with them during that hour. So don't go in, don't flip, don't stir, don't do anything. Just put them in, and when your hour is up, then you can go in with a spoon or a wooden spatula and just see if your bottom layer has crisped up. I like it crispy, at least one layer, and then you can give it a good stir. You'll check. Guaranteed in an hour these will be done, and this is going to make your kitchen smell amazing. It's kaya yippee-yi-yay, this stuff is. So that's Cowgirl potatoes going in. We'll be back in an hour, and we're going to try them out. So stay tuned. All right, so we cooked these for about an hour 15 it took. And as you can see, these are ready because the fork slides in super nice. I wish we had smell-o-vision because it smells awesome. One of my things is especially during the summer, I have a little like flower vase, and I always keep it stocked up with parsley, garlic chives, whatever herbs I have growing in the garden, basil, all that sort of stuff. So it's just, it's helpful to have that right here so that we can just cut it right in. These are all washed, everything. So I'm going to hit this with some parsley. Man, this smells so good. Holy smokes. All right. Let's see. This is red hot. As you can see, we got our potatoes here. Let's check it out. Let's see how we did. These are red hot. You can see the steam. Woo, look at that coming off there. Hot, hot, hot. All right, let's try it. Here we go. Kaya yippee-yi-yay. These are killer Cowgirl potatoes. So listen, to my meat-eating friends, these will go really well as an accompaniment to steak, chicken, seafood. And to my vegetarian friends, these are just great on their own. They're great with eggs, great with barbecue tofu, which is what I usually will do. Hope this has been helpful to y'all. Hey, thanks for watching. Welcome all our new subscribers. Really appreciate you watching and your comments. And listen, enjoy your kitchen, enjoy your garden, and have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.